Good morning, everyone. June 12th, 2020, and welcome to episode number 23 of the Project 2020 show. Before we begin, I have to say thank you to everybody who has subscribed to the channel. I greatly appreciate it. We are now nearly at 1,350 subs, and it's just fantastic to see. Our goal still remains, can we make it to 1,600 or more by Monday morning? So if you're a fan of Project 2020 and you're not subscribed, hit that button. So here we are, the end of week number 12 of Project 2020, and we just released the Tony Gwynn, Matt Taylor, and the Jackie Robinson F-Dot. So unlike the cloudiness outside, those are very bright, colorful cards, and you almost need sunglasses to look at them. So it's great to see those cards come out this week and sort of in the week overall. It's been a very challenging week for Project 2020. There's a lot of uncertainty out there, and there's a lot of things that we are trying to get answers to, but we just don't know. I mean, look, a lot of things have changed in the past week. The cards that should have sold well, the Derek Jeter did not sell as well, right? Cards that should have sold not so many copies, like the Gibson, sold way too many. There's so many unknowns right now that it's stressing us out, and I get it. If you feeling stressed about this product, I completely understand. The numbers that I've been using to really project pre-orders, even from 24 to 48 hours, are wrong now. Projecting eBay penetration is now wrong now. Look, the cards used to be very static. It used to be, hey, 3% were bought on eBay. Before the announcement before the announcement came out, then it was 2, then it was like 1.5, and then it was 1.5 on both cards, and now it's like 1.5, 0.9, 2, 0.9. Everything right now is all over the map. So I get it. If you are struggling to understand where this product is, I am right there with you. And I'm trying to figure this out day by day, because if we figure this out together, we're going to be a lot stronger at the end of the day. Because look, 100 cards ago, we were buying these cards based on the player only, not the artist. Then the second wave was buying the cards with the artists we kind of liked or started to sort of know more about, and the print run spiked a little bit. And then everything broke loose when it all became about the print run and nothing else, not even about the card. It just became about that 4-digit number at the end of the card. So, and then everything crashed down. So we are left now trying to pick up the pieces and now get through the next wave of cards, because like I said yesterday, we're going to have nearly 700,000 cards hit the economy, and it's going to crush the market. It's going to crush the average pricing, and we are left to sort of pick up the pieces and figure out where we're going. So I am right here with you to try to figure out this product. Look, this is a marathon. This is not a sprint. So it's going to take us day by day to figure out where this product is at and where it's going. This is not going to be solved in the next 24 to 48 hours. So this is why we love this product so much, because it gives us twists and turns every single day. It is not your average card release that comes and goes in about a couple weeks. This is going to be with us through December, and we're going to be talking about this through early next year. So hang tight. We're in for bumpy road. But now let's look at the market yesterday, and let's look at the cards that got announced today. Here's a look in at the first player cards for Project 2020. And you can see on the screen here, 4 cards didn't sell yesterday, a single copy, and then 3 only sold 1 copy. So 7 cards, nearly 50%, sold 1 or less copy yesterday. And that is the amount of uncertainty that's out there in the market right now. People are not spending the money, and that's why we're all sort of flustered in figuring out where do we go with this product. And look, the only card that went up yesterday was the Mr. Cartoon, Roberto Clemente, and that's because it's a known commodity because of his autograph promotion. So that's why that one's rising. So when you see a level of certainty in the market, we know what that card's about, the numbers rise. So until we figure out where the market is and we get to that certainty level, the numbers are going to continue to fluctuate. And then when you look at the market overall, as I said yesterday, these numbers are going to continue to crash to an average dollar point just because of the amount of inventory hitting shelves, in a sense, that are going to be $30, $35. We're down to $46.90 yesterday. It's not the lowest, but it's the second lowest since the beginning of this chart, which is May 3rd. So I think we're going to hit that number, the lowest number here, pretty soon. The next month, maybe even 2 months, is going to be very difficult. But we are in for a very, very bumpy ride. So hang on, it's going to be fun. But now let's get to some better news. Let's look at some pre-order data, and let's look at the cards that got released today. Also, if you're thinking or asking where do all these graphics come from or the numbers, please check out the website, crtsportscards.com. Go to my Project 2020 page, and it has everything there for you. And you can quickly reference any number that I talk about here on the show. So final looking at Ripken and final looking at Clemente. And look, we talked about pricing yesterday. You know, the pricing is what it is. It's sort of if A is this and B is this and C is going to be this. It's obviously not gospel. It's not going to be where the card's going to be. The market changes so quickly, literally overnight. So, you know, the pricing I provide after day one may be true, may not. Who knows? But it just sort of gives everyone sort of an estimate of where that card could land if the ranges hold. So number one here, I'm keeping with my ranges with the Ripken and the Clemente. Now, when you look at the 48-hour pickup or 48-hour reservations versus my projection, I had 275 for Ripken and I had 150 for Jackie Robinson. So you look at the screen there, it is 295 and 161. This is an interesting trend that I've noticed over the past 10 to 12 cards. Before, when I did my first print run projections, there was always a 30% pickup after day one to day two. Now, over the past 10 to 12, even 14 cards, there's been a 55 to 60% pickup after day one. So we've seen more buyers move to eBay or just more buyers in general after day one. So I'm having to go back and readjust on those numbers. But look, the print runs are staying the same. I'm keeping them there. 22 to 25 for Ripken and then 9 to 12 on Clemente. The bin baller Cal Ripken is the one that I'm sort of most cautious on. I think it's going to land there. And again, these projections are just for fun. They're really to test me to see if I can spot buying trends and buying patterns to help everybody out in a sense to give sort of a range. But I think this is going to fall here, but this is the one this week that I'm the most uncertain on. We'll find out though. But the Roberto here, I feel confident, 9 to 12,000. We'll see. Yesterday I missed wildly in the Gibson, so we will find out. Now let's do a deeper dive into day one on McGwire and Brett. So here's the first look in at McGwire and George Brett when it comes to pre-orders after 24 hours. Mark McGwire, no surprise here, leading the way at 96 pre-orders, and George Brett is second here at 66. When you think back to the 55, 60% increase on these cards, I'm going with 160, and I'm going with 110 on McGwire and Brett after 48 hours. So we'll see where that lands. But then you look at the print runs, the projections here, 10 to 13,000 on McGwire, and then 7 to 10K on George Brett. I think the George Brett is high at 10K. I think he's going to be a lot lower. You could see him very similar to Doc Gooden with Grotesque, but we'll find out. Old Man Allen has not, like I said, not sold very well overall, other than that Williams in the actual boom phase. But now looking at the pricing, and this one is a little tricky on the McGwire specifically. So when you look at McGwire, he doesn't have much of a range. He's got extremes, and then he has very low cards. So when you think of the range for this card, right above it's an 18,000 Jameson at $38, and then there's a 2K Natural at 127. I don't think that just because this card's going to come out maybe 10 to 13,000 makes this, you know, worth more than $38. I think right now we're seeing those cards stick right around 30, 32. So we'll find out as we go throughout this next month or so. But just take that range with a grain of salt, because we've never seen a McGwire finish at 10,000, 8,000. We've always either had him very low or we've had him very high. Now the Brett though, I think it's pretty straightforward. His two ranges are a 10K Shore at 29, and then we have that 5.6K Grotesque at 32. So when you think about the value here, if it comes in the 7 and 10,000, you're looking at like $30. So really no surprise there. He's got a very solid range of cards already in that print and run range. So, but we'll find out at the end, of course, to see how these cards land. But the McGwire, do not think just because it's going to be a 10,000 print run card, it's going to be worth $50 overnight. I just don't think that's going to happen. So first up today is going to be Tony Gwynn, and this is Matt Taylor's interpretation of Tony Gwynn. So many colors. I can't say it enough. There's just so much going on in this card. And I think if you spun the color wheel, you could find every single color here and every variation possible. It's just so darn colorful. But look, how did we get here with Matt Taylor? And we just had him last week with that Roberto Clemente. But Matt Taylor had the Henderson at 21, Jeter at 39, Griffey, Frank Thomas, and then, of course, the Clemente. His Clemente is his highest selling card at 11,577. And you can see his Henderson, 2,100, Jeter, 93, Griffey, 42. Really all over the map when it comes to his print work and how much he's sold. And people either love or hate his work right now. There's no in-between. We're going to see how this Gwynn does. But for the most part, he's really been in-between overall. And then when you think of Gwynn, this is going to be his 6th card overall. He had the Old Man Allen, Grotesque, Natural, Josh Vids, which basically look exactly the same. And then the F.1 at 31,000. He has sold nearly 40,000 cards. He is the 12th ranked athlete overall out of 20. And then his best card is number 94 at 11th. You know, I don't think for a minute he's going to touch his F. number. We will find out where pre-orders land on this card, but, you know, are we looking again at that 10 to 15 sweet spot? I keep saying that every morning, but I think that's the range we're at right now when it comes to sort of the soft projection in the moment, but we'll find out tomorrow morning where the pre-orders land. Now, let's look at Jackie Robinson. So this is my favorite card of the two today, and for anyone who doesn't know, my Mariners hat, the Sunday blue one I wear, the light blue one, it has a 42 logo on it, and then my Mariners jersey I wear a majority of the time has 42 on the back for Jackie Robinson. So I personally am a huge fan of Jackie Robinson, and I think this card by F. is just an amazing interpretation. There's so many great things in this card that have been put in for in the moment, and then of course overall. So very, very nice card, and it's great to see us ending the week on this card. But when you look at F. overall, this is his 6th card, and he had, of course, the McGwire, then the Willie Mays, Nolan Ryan, Ted Williams, and then we just talked about Tony Gwynn, but we have his F. So it's interesting to see how these cards and artists line up one by one when they come out after the fact. But look, print run wise, you know, McGwire, Mays basically sold the same amount of copies. Ryan spiked to 4,000. Williams, 9,000, and of course that F. which is 11th right now at 31,000. How did we get here with Jackie Robinson? And I love this interpretation because although the Mr. Cartoon is different, this one really, really stands out as being different. So you have Natural at 3, Sophia Chang at 31, Jameson at 42, Cartoon at 79, and then Vids at 98. He has sold nearly 40,000 cards, so 38,885, and he is ranked 13th overall. And, you know, Gwynn's ranked 12th, so these two are back-to-back when it comes to overall print run from an average perspective. And then his best card is 98 at 18th. To me, I see this card coming out ahead of the Gwynn. Where's that range? Like I said, we don't know at the moment. We'll find out tomorrow morning on the pre-orders. So there we have it. Another fantastic release for Project 2020, but at the same time, I understand and feel your frustration with the product. We all want to know where it's going, but we're going to solve this together. So have a fantastic Friday collecting, and I'll see you back tomorrow morning for episode number 24.